What you looking at, Gizmo? I hate when they pick dumb thumbnails. Now I gotta go in and change the thumbnail. Okay. I don't know why she left me here. Y'all probably ain't gonna get no notification because you already got notified that there was a video. Oh, ooh, I don't like any of those. I'll fix it later. I'll fix it later. You know what? Just leave it. Just leave it like that for now. We'll leave it. Okay, whoever the one person is, I can't see it yet. Anyway, hopefully everybody else gets. Okay, whoever the one person is, I can't see it. Thank you, courageous Yumi. Just that patient topic back. Hopefully, other people um, will get the notifications. I know the notifications are bad, horrible right now. So maybe if I put it on a community wall, people will see it. So I posted it there. I'll give a little while longer for people to show up. And then we're going to get started. Did my TV go on? Yeah, it looked like it did. It's like, girl, you didn't make up your mind what you wanted to do, so we just went off, girl. We just went off something. The notifications have been really bad lately. Everybody has been complaining that people are not getting notified for. I think I'm gonna have to just start a regular time to come on so that people know that I'm here because YouTube is not sending out notifications. Plus, I need everyone to make sure that they have their notifications set, that you have clicked on the bell. Um, and I think when you click on the bell, you have to click on all so you get notified for everything, videos, lives, all that kind of stuff. So So you have to make sure that your notifications are set up correctly. And I know that that is a bit much if you are subscribed to a lot of people. You don't want your phone constantly um, going off because of notifications. I really should let that ring light down a little bit because it's casting um, shadows that I don't like. Oh, yeah, it's too dark without that. I don't think that's any better, but you know what? We're going to roll with it. So hopefully a few more people will come in because I don't want to just talk to two or three people. I do at least want some of my regulars to show up. I think people have gotten the impression that I'm going to be coming later in the evening, but I come when I can, you know, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't set a specific time because some days I may not be available to come at that time, and I don't want to say that I'm going to be here and then I'm not here, and that's not good either. But it sucks when you don't have um, the correct notifications either. Look, Fitbit, I'm not about to be getting up right now. Got other things to do. So I'm just gonna wait on some other people because I one thing I cannot stand is when you get started and people come in late and they expect for you to go back over everything that you already talked about. And I don't really want to do that. So we're gonna give them a couple more minutes to just, slide in and then we can get started. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna get started. Let me see who else is here because usually people don't show up on the StreamYard, but they will show up on the phone. No, no one's here. Okay. Well, it's showing six people. So, can somebody at least say something in the chat to let me know that people are here at least? Are y'all Sky people that are afraid to come down in the chat? Who's here? Roll call. Let's do a roll call before we officially get started and see who's here. Let's do that while I'm cleaning my glasses. From Texas. We got Texas in the house. Where was that storm that happened yesterday? A lot of people were talking about as a matter of fact, one person that I follow on Instagram said that her basement was flooded. Like they had so much rain come down through their area that her basement got flooded. The rest of the house didn't get flooded, but her basement did. So I'm not really sure where that storm was. And then I had another friend who said it got so bad that her power and stuff had went out. So I know a bad storm went down through somewhere, but I'm not really sure um, where it was. Like we've had uh, just kind of overcasty skies. If overcasty is a word, but we've had overcast skies all day today. Yesterday it was so nice. Yesterday the breeze was nice. Um, Today it's a little bit more windy than it was yesterday, and when I got up this morning, it was seriously overcast. Hey, Vernita, I'm in Dallas. It was just cloudy. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, it was a bad storm. Went through somewhere. I'm not really sure where it was. Um, they got some, and then somebody on Instagram was posting. They got a lot of rain. Um, so the storm did look a little intense. So I'm glad it wasn't, down your way. Dallas is huge, huh? Hey, Decipher, Infamous, and Leah. So y'all coming in, y'all just coming in slow. We already been here 12 minutes. That just shows that YouTube just don't care about notifications. They could care less about notifying people. I done been here forever, okay? And y'all just now coming in. So we're going to talk about childhood traumas today. Hey, Moth Mama. Um, and the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I am starting to see a pattern with a lot of people that have unresolved, a lot of men who have unresolved childhood traumas. And when we get in relationships, you didn't see the notification. Oh, okay. When we get in relationships, we're so fixated on where the person works, how much money they have, how much money they're making, what type of car they drive, where the person lives, but we're not delving into their past, like their unresolved childhood traumas, especially with men. Because a lot of men, when they have unresolved childhood traumas, it comes out in aggression. They have more violent tendencies towards women. Men who have problems or issues with their mothers, who feel like their mothers didn't love them enough, who have abandonment issues with their mothers, 7 times out of 10 will have some issues with you. Just like women who have issues with their fathers will have issues with their partners. But women are less likely to be violent with those issues. Now, they may be aggressive, but they won't be as violent as men. Men can be, whether y'all want to admit it or not, men can be extremely violent when it comes to women at times. Now, I know that hurts some of y'all feelings, but it's real. So, this article said, what is considered childhood trauma? It says childhood trauma can occur when a child witnesses or experiences overwhelming negative experiences in childhood. Children can also experience traumatic events. These include accidents, natural disasters, war, and civil unrest, medical procedures, or the sudden loss of a parent or caregiver. And this could be the mother going to jail, this can be the mother passing away, this can be the mother being abusive. I dated a young man whose mother was mentally unavailable, and his grandmother raised him. Now, we were in our 40s, and he was still holding a grudge against his mother. And when I talked to him about what was going on with his mother, comes to find out his mother had dementia and was in a home. You know, they had placed her in a home. So his mother had always had some type of mental illness, even when she was younger. So she did not have the ability to take care of him. But he was still mad at his mama because she didn't take care of him and his grandmother had to raise him. And I guess him and the grandmother, you know, they had their own issues. And I think a lot of what he had going on with his grandmother was the fact that he missed his mom and he wanted to be with his mother. And they didn't want to take him to visit her because they didn't want him to see the state that his mother was in. So you're an adult now. You have the ability to go and see your mother. So while we were in a relationship together, I got him to go and see his mother, to face, go see your mama. I will go with you. You know, if you need someone to go with you, but you need to go see your mother because you have a lot of issues that are holding you back because you mad at your mama. And when I got there and this woman had dementia, didn't know who he was, then he really got mad at her. He got mad at her because she didn't know who he was. And after we got in the car, he was like, she knew who I was. She just didn't want to admit it. No, your mother has dementia. She doesn't know you from anybody else. She can't help it. This is a medical condition. She don't she probably doesn't know anybody. But he took it so personal. That's trauma that I couldn't help him get over that. I couldn't help him face that trauma. I couldn't help him get over that anger. And I couldn't live with someone that was going to be mad at his own mother because she had dementia and she didn't know who he was. Because I'm like, what if something happens to me? You gonna get mad at me too? So you have to find out who you're dating. What was their past like? How did they grow up? Where did they grow up? All of these things are important. I was an adopted child. There are times when I can have abandonment issues. I don't like to be, I like to be left alone, but but I don't like to be left alone. Like if I can be in a house with a whole bunch of people, but I like to have a space where I can go and be by myself. Like in a room by myself or whatever, but I do like to know that there are other people in the house. But there's times when, because I was an only child, I do like a lot of alone time. But I want you to be here in the house, but you don't have to be up in my face, is how I am. But I don't like being alone in the house by myself a lot. You have to know the person that you're dating. And it's more than just a superficial knowing. You have to know them on a mental and spiritual level. If you can't break the core of who someone is when you're dating them, you won't break it when y'all get married or y'all living together. If they can't give it to you while you guys are dating, they can't give you who they are, tell you who they are, express what happened to them as a child. Like, I can tell you about my whole childhood. My childhood is, it's an open book for me. I can literally tell you the house we lived in. I can take you there, show it to you, show you the elementary school I went to, because all these places are still there. The elementary schools that I went to, the junior high school or middle school that I went to, the high school that I went to, the neighborhood that I grew up in, everything I can tell you. My husband can, literally do the same thing. He has taken me to the old house that he used to live in when he was a little kid, the neighborhood. I know, of course, his parents, sister, everybody. If the person that you are attempting to date is hiding those things from you, or don't have the ability to open up to tell you what happened to them as a child, if they don't feel, safe enough with you to even tell you, yeah, my mom used to beat the hell out of me when I was little, that's not the right person. That's not. That person has unresolved childhood trauma that is so unresolved they can't even speak about it. And it is some people that have had things happen to them when they were kids that were so bad that they can't talk about it. But they have to talk about it to somebody. And if they're not in therapy trying to resolve it and they can't even tell you about it, that person is going to be hard to deal with in a relationship. And I just don't want to see women out here trying to, you know, dealing with a man is like pulling teeth. It should not be. Yeah, he cute. He got a nice car. He got a nice job. You know, he looked good in a suit. But when you open his closet door, all these skeletons fall out that he's constantly picking up, throwing back in the closet, and attempting to close the door. Instead of just letting them out, let them out. I've told my husband everything that happened to me as a child, my adoption, my mom being an alcoholic, all of that kind of stuff. I'm not ashamed of none of that. And if you're with someone and they are ashamed of their past or cannot communicate their past to you, then something is going on there. And that should be a huge red flag for you. If you, I'm going to kill her. If you're in a relationship If you're in a relationship, because I don't want to turn my phone off. If you're in a relationship and these red flags are coming up, they're coming up for a reason. Especially if you have a relationship with your ancestors and the Orisha, they are trying to warn you. They trying to tell you that's not it, sis. No, he is not the one. Because I'm telling you, I was in a relationship, honey, and Oshun herself came down and was like, two rams can't drink from the same water fountain. And I was like, huh? What she say? Oh, she what? I mean, just and my godmother was like, he ain't the one. In my whole heart, and he wasn't. Soon as I dumped him, I got married. You have to be able to listen to the Orisha in your ancestors and your mind. You know, we as women have to stop leading with our hearts and start leading with our minds. Because your heart will tell you, oh, he love you, girl. That's the one. Jody love you. And Jody got all these issues. Every time something happened, you can't even talk to Jody because he's so angry about things that have happened to him. He doesn't even know how to process his anger, his frustration when those things come up. Instead of being able to calm himself down and soothe his own soul, he just blows up. Jody is a volcano. And no one wants to live with a constant erupting volcano. It's not healthy. So you have to be able to look at situations and know that's not it. He has some issues. When you sitting at the table on that first date, those are some of the things that you need to bring up. Well, how? What am I supposed to say? What's your past like? No, you just bring it up. How's your relationship with your mom? How's your mom doing? Oh, I can't stand her ass. Red flag. Red flag. If the first thing he says is he can't stand his own mama, if he can't stand his own mama, eventually he ain't gonna be able to stand you. Anybody that can't stand the person that brought them in this world is not gonna be able to stand you either. Even if that person is a horrible person, you still have to resolve those issues so that you can move forward, so that you can be in a healthy relationship. Because I'm not saying all mothers are good, because they're not. There are a lot of mothers in jail. There are a lot of mothers on drugs. There are a lot of mothers who have abused their children, who have done some really bad things. But you still have to work through that and move forward if you want to live a productive life. Now, if you don't, then you stay stuck on what your mama did. And you live in that for the rest of your life. But you're not going to have good relationships. Your relationships will be poor, they will be unsuccessful. You will be stuck in that trauma, hurt, and pain for the rest of your life. And who wants to live with that? Who wants to live with the person that has unresolved issues? Like, we're living in a time now where you can go to therapy. I mean, like here in California, they want you to go to therapy because they don't want all of these mentally ill people walking the streets. There are a lot of clinics here that will help you. You can go in and get an evaluation and get on some medication, see a therapist the same day here in California. But a lot of people won't take advantage of that. Or they'll go get the medicine and won't, take it, or won't go back and get the medication adjusted, or won't, keep up with their therapy appointments because you have to do all those things. EMDR is a good therapy for people who have a hard time talking about their trauma. You know what I've noticed that is good for people who have a hard time is group therapy. Group therapy is really good for people who have never been to a one on one therapy session. It's good to start in group therapy because if you are having a hard time talking, you can sit there and listen to what other people are saying. And sometimes that helps because you can be like, well, damn, my situation ain't that bad. Or, oh, God, oh. Listening to other people. And then eventually you will want to talk. I've always said that group therapy is a stepping stone for personal therapy. A lot of people, um, a lot of my clients have been to group therapy before they started one on one therapy. And I used to do a lot of group therapy for women who had substance abuse. Women love to talk. And if you can put women in a situation where they feel safe and comfortable, usually where there are no men in the session, they will talk. Women will talk and they will come out and, say what's bothering them, say what's going on, and sometimes be able to resolve some of those things. But women have to understand that we are responsible for what happens. Jody got temper, anger issues, but you make excuses for him, then that's your fault because you don't have to deal with Jody because there's too many other Jodys out there to deal with a Jody that has anger issues, mama issues, daddy issues. You don't have to do that. We cannot save Jody from himself. Only Jody can save him. In 9 times out of 10, Jody don't think there's anything wrong with him. So Jody don't want to be helped. And here you are in a predicament that you don't want to be in because Jody getting on your nerves and he's not about to change. He's not going to change. If he doesn't get any help, he's not going to change his situation. He's going to stay who he is because he doesn't think anything is wrong with him, for one. So, find out. Find out. Let me see some pictures of you when you was little. Or do you look happy? Oh, who is this in the picture with you? Oh, that's my grandma. Oh, okay. Your grandma raised you? Start a conversation. Find out what happened. Oh, well, where's your mom and dad? Oh, my dad died. Oh, okay. What happened? I'm nosy. I am. Because if you're going to be in a relationship with me, I'm going to be spending time with you and energy, and our energy is going to be intermingling. I want to know who you are as a person. Did you grow up in church? Did you go to church when you was young? Like, what church did you go? Oh, y'all Catholic? Oh, your family is Catholic? Oh, okay. What church did y'all go to? Oh, y'all didn't go to church? How you get to be Catholic then? Oh, you went one time? Oh, okay. Then you didn't go no more? I'm gonna ask you some questions now. And if questions bother you, then I probably ain't the right person for you. Because I'm gonna ask some questions. Oh, yes, I am. And I should. I should. Because I'm gonna be with you. And I wanna know what's going on. And that's how we all should be. All of you should be trying to find out what Jody done went through in his past. And Jody, you need to find out what Joe Daddy done been through. What her daddy? What her mama? Why she don't like her brother? Why they ain't getting along? She ain't talked to her sister in 10 years. Why? If you with somebody and they hate everybody in your family, in their family, you need to find out why. Because if they hate everybody in their family, they gonna hate everybody in yours too. So you need to find out why. What's going on? What where you come from? Especially if you consider yourself a light worker, a spiritual person. Because don't you want to connect to Jody on a spiritual level? How do you connect with someone if you don't know who they are? The only thing I know is that he's 6 feet tall and drive a Mercedes. No, I need to know more than that. Much more. Hey, honeybee. Oh, you got a problem with your bank card? So that's all I want to tell you guys is to make sure when you get in these relationships with people, you are being more protective of your peace by finding out what the man or the woman has been through in their younger life. Because it's very important. Childhood trauma is very serious. We get a lot of people, there are a lot of people out here who, were not raised like us. I see a lot of people that, were not raised like me. Like people who curse at their children. My mother never cursed at me um, growing up. My mother never called me out of my name. My mom called me by my nickname until she left this earth. Like I'm grown and she's still calling me by my nickname. She has never called me out of my name anything in anger, but you do have a lot of people who have grown up and as children they were physically and mentally abused and they feel like that is normal. And then you get into a relationship with one of those people, you have a baby with them, and then they want to hit the baby because they were hit so much. growing up. Now, I don't have a problem with spanking, okay? But I have a problem with beating. I don't have a problem with but beating a child? No. I think every now and then they do need to get a little pop on the hand so they know that you serious. I'm not playing with you. Or sometimes you gotta give them that stern look that I will. Some kids, that's enough. Like my granddaughter, I've never had to whoop her, even though I've told her that I would. And that would be enough to make her stop. I'm gonna whoop you. Okay. Now I've never whooped her, but I have threatened. And for her, threatening was enough. Some kids you gotta go on and give them that one good pop so they know that you ain't playing. But she wasn't one of those kids. So you have to figure out how the person that you were with, how were they raised? What was discipline like in their home? Because we're all disciplined differently. Some people are used to getting toe up. They think that's normal. With anything, like growing up, my friends used to tell me that their mama would or daddy would hit them with Hot Wheel tracks and stuff. Like that wasn't normal for me. I ain't never been hit with no Hot Wheel track. And I hope to God I done got to 55 and ain't never been hit by no Hot Wheel. Well, do they still make Hot Wheels? I mean, the tracks. I know they still make Hot Wheels, but I don't think they still got them little plastic Hot Wheel tracks. I don't know, y'all. But I don't want nobody out here hitting their kids with Hot Wheel tracks, okay? Or extension cords. A lot of my friends got hit with extension cords, brushes, shoes, just, they would say anything that their mama would pick up, they would throw and hit them with it or whatever. My mom didn't do that. I didn't grow up in one of those type of houses. And some people don't realize that that's not normal. Just because it happened at your house don't mean it's normal. That's not normal. It's not normal to be hitting a child with a shoe. Now it happened. My mama said it's a lot of kids. It's a lot of kids out here scared of flip flops and stuff. I saw a video that is being shown on Instagram. A little girl was twirling her sister in a chair, and the chair fell over, and the baby fell out, and the baby looked kind of young, and the baby fell. And the mother picked the baby up, and the other little girl just immediately started crying and, running. And I think that's the cute little girl that her mama be styling her hair. I think that's who it is. But she just took off running, just was screaming. And the mother was like, she just dramatic. But people in the comments was saying stuff like, oh, the mother must beat her, for her to get that upset. But I was like, if you know that you did something wrong and you think that you may have hurt your baby sister, you would cry. Any child with any level of decency and love for their sibling, especially a younger sibling, as the older child, you're always told that you are the protector, you have to take care of your baby sister and all of this. And for you to do something where you hurt your baby sister, of course you would cry and run and, freak out. But a lot of people in the comments were saying, well, the mother must beat her or the mother must, whoop her. I didn't see that um, from the video. Like, I didn't get that vibe. I really got the vibe that the little girl um, was scared and, really thought that she had hurt her baby sister. But you never know. You never know. You never know what goes on in people's homes. You have no idea. You don't know how people are raised. You don't know how people raise their children when people, especially influencers, people that put their children out on the forefront to make YouTube videos. You don't know what they do to these, their children behind the scenes, and you just never know. And Gizmo, yo nosy butt. He trying to see what's going on outside, then turn my light off. Gizmo, go in here. He done unplugged the light, y'all. Go in here. She wasn't even calling you. Nosy. This dog that made me so mad right now. This boy that almost broke my ring light. Knock your little head off. See how mama get? Yeah. I don't know how to say it in Spanish. La chachala. Chachala. Yeah, I know. A lot of my Spanish friends say that. My aunt used to use extension cords on her sons. It was horrible. I couldn't even imagine hitting my child with an extension cord. I couldn't. But that's how a lot of people have grown up, and they hold on to that. They hold on to those bad memories. Boy, you unplug my light. It's all dark, and I want everybody to see my eyelashes. Hold on, let me try to plug my light back in. I need y'all to see my eyelashes. There's a light back here. Can I reach it? Maybe I can't. Oh my gosh. Gizmo! Okay. There it is. We back in business. We been business. Let's cast a lot of shadows. I'm gonna figure out how to make this lighting work. I don't know. We're gonna be right there though. Okay. Thank you, honeybee. Gizmo just got in trouble, so I'll put him up. Christopher Hayes says, I was abused by my mother, talked about and made fun of by her side of the family. I have forgiven her, not for her, but for me. I do not communicate with my mom. Now, let me say this. A lot of people say that they have forgiven the person, but you ain't forgot it and you haven't healed. There's a difference between forgiving the person and actually healing from what has happened. Because if you're still holding on to those unresolved issues, you haven't forgiven. If those things will come up every now and then for you, you haven't forgiven. And you have to forgive and heal before you can move forward. You know, the one thing that I have noticed, I'm all over the place about these eyelashes is, and this is from other people that have done the magnetic eyelashes also, is you have a hard time getting them to stick in the corners of the eye. Like they stick everywhere else, but in the corners, they don't want to. And it's like I can't put enough of that stuff. I don't know, that liquid eyeliner stuff on there to make it stick. They keep wanting to just slightly come out. I've seen women and one in my family eat steak and lobster, and the kids eat hot dogs. Hey, he was a Jody. You know, I've seen that too in families. I can remember as a little kid going to barbecues and stuff, and the grown ups were eating the steaks and the shrimps and all that kind of stuff. And the kids we just got like the hamburgers and the chips and hot dogs because the grown ups was like, y'all ain't gonna mess over no steaks. That's what you're not gonna do. And shrimps and stuff. Now, when I had my own kids, whatever I ate, my kids ate. I may have just took the steak and cut it in little pieces and gave it to them. You know, of course, you're not going to give a child a whole T-bone steak or whatever. You know, cut it in pieces and give it to them. But I wanted my kids to have the same thing that, you know, I was eating. I'm not going to sit up here and eat lobster and like I'm not gonna go to McDonald's and eat in your face and then come home and make you eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like that's out of pocket. But yeah, I have seen that. I have. I mean, I that has happened to me as a child. I have been to places where the grown-ups were eating certain things and then the kids had to eat certain, and the kids, like I done been to, parties in my family where of course the kids at the kids table, you stay your little behind over there with the little kids and the grown-ups would, be doing their own thing and grown-ups have eaten stuff that they wouldn't give us or whatever. And I didn't really think anything about it because I just, when I was a little kid, I used to think that certain things was grown up food. Grown ups eat that because the kids, we was always eating like the hot dogs and hamburgers and little stuff, and the grown ups would be eating what I thought was the grown up food. But I didn't care because I was such a picky kid anyway. My mother would tell them not to give me certain things, or she would make my plate because she knew how picky I was. And I'm still to this day a very extremely picky eater. I don't like my food touching. So I mean, I still like to make my own plate. Even my husband knows, like, don't, you know, either he'll make my plate or I'll make it because I don't want my food touching. I don't want nothing wet. touching the food that's not wet. Like I don't want my cornbread to get wet. I don't want the green juice to run into my macaroni and cheese. Like that irritates me. Wet stuff has to go in a bowl or something because I don't want it all touching. So I used to think grown up food was for grown ups. The kids got, because we would go to barbecues and stuff, and the kids would be getting the hot dogs, and the grown-ups would get the links, and you don't even ask because you a kid, and that's you eat hot dogs. That's for kids. The links is for the grown-ups. The hot links and all that stuff was for the grown-ups. But when I got old, I didn't do my kids like that. We all ate the same thing. Gizmo is in his crate. He's Gizmo just knocked over my ring light trying to see what the people outside was doing, which was basically none of his business. So now he in his crate. Honeybee said, I understand what you're saying, but this was totally different. No, I can understand what you're saying too. Yeah, I have seen that. I've seen that too. I have seen that too. I mean, I've seen both situations where people get just too nosy. Somebody was outside. This dog, but see, that's my fault because I had the cord for the ring light going across the, thing. And he just ran right through it, almost knocked the ring light over. Going where? Where are you going? Because you can't look out the window. And I know he hates that. What is that, Gizmo? I know he hates that. He can't just, look out the window here because it's nothing for him to like jump on to look out the window like it was at the old house. He could jump on the couch and look out the window. He can't do that here. So he just is discombobulated. He's when he hears something outside, he'll just run. If you don't sit down somewhere, you can't see. You can't see what's going on, dude. You can't. Sorry. The only way you can see is if I open the door and you go outside. But you still can't see what's going on in the front because you're not going out that front door. You can go out the back because it leads to the backyard. But he's not about to go out that front door and just run crazy somewhere. He is totally nosy. My dad always give me credit for that. He always said, honey, whatever you eat, your kids eat. My neighbor used to eat crab legs with her man, and her kids would just drink the water from the pot. Oh, no. See, that's how I was too. Whatever I ate, my kids ate. If I had steak, my kids had steak. Now, they weren't going to have a whole steak, but they had steak. If I had crab legs, they had crab legs. Um, yeah, my oldest son used to love gumbo. And I used to make gumbo. My youngest son didn't really like it. I think he likes seafood now, but I don't think he really liked seafood a lot growing up. But whatever I ate, they ate. We went out to restaurants, you know, get whatever. I would never be like, oh, no, you can't have that or you can't eat that. That ain't for kids or whatever. If I ain't had the money to, for all of us to eat fat, we go to McDonald's. You know? Yeah, me too. Or we was just gonna all eat the same thing, you know? If I only had ramen money, then we all gonna eat ramen. I'm not gonna go out and spend some money and eat something and they sitting up here eating peanut butter and jelly. No. If money get tight, we gonna all eat ramen. But I tried my best to stick to a budget to make sure that, my kids always had what they should have to eat. That's important. That's always been important to me. And it should be important to everybody. But like I said, you never know how someone has grown up until you have those very, very important conversations with them. Those conversations are very important because you may be with someone whose parents, restricted their eating or locked the refrigerator at night. That may be why they, hoard food or whatever. You may be with somebody whose parents told them growing up that they were fat or don't eat that, you're gonna get too fat. You just never know what kind of weird issues people have around their parents until you talk to them. And don't be afraid to talk to them about, things that happened when they were young. Because they are important. Especially if you plan on being in a serious relationship with that person or having kids with that person, because you don't want your child to be raised up in with a lot of crazy stuff that maybe your partner dealt with. My first husband, God. And see, I'm trying to keep y'all from going through some of the stuff that I went through. My first husband, it was a doozy. It really was, because I didn't talk to him about a lot of the things that, he went through with his first wife. Like, I really did not get, for some reason, like, I was young, didn't understand it. I didn't want to talk to him about his first wife. Like, I don't want to know nothing about her. Maybe if I had talked about her before we got married, we wouldn't have got married. So find out what they done been through, what problems they done had. If they done been married before, why you divorced? What happened? All of those things you have to take into consideration. You have to be willing to talk about. Oh, and don't forget to watch my Shein haul video. Okay. I didn't feel like trying on all them clothes. I didn't feel like going through all of that. Now I might put them on and take some still pictures, and if I do, they'll be on my Instagram. You should be following me on Instagram anyway. My 5-year old nephew was tearing up some crab legs last week. I heard that. Yeah, my granddaughter, I think she been eating shrimp and crabs and stuff since she was super little. She can tear up some crabs and shrimp. I'm not really a shrimp person. I'm not really a seafood person, period, though. I'm really not. I mean, I'll eat it like if it's a special occasion or something. If we, go out to dinner, it's a special occasion, I may have lobster or crab or something like that. But just to be eating it on a regular basis, that's not really my thing. So that's it. Watch my video, y'all. Okay. Um, I am going to, be kind of changing up the content. Like, I may do some makeup. I can't say that there will be makeup tutorials because I'm still learning. When it comes to makeup, I'm still learning. I mean, I can show you guys, what I'm using, I'm still trying to get used to this whole ring. I'm trying to get used to the ring light, where it should be set up and stuff, because it's totally not right now. Because all of these shadows and stuff, I don't have it right. It should be, I think, on the other side. But somebody knocked it over. He looking like somebody cute. So that's it. Okay. Um, I appreciate y'all. I love you guys. And, I hope you take into consideration what I'm saying. It's too easy now to go to therapy. There are too many places that will provide therapy at a reduced cost, or some places, depending on the state that you live in, may even pay for you to go to therapy, because they would rather pay for you to go to therapy than just have you out here wilding out on the streets and, you know, acting out. There are a lot of clinics that have mental health facilities. The only thing you have to do is research mental health facilities in my area, low cost mental health, low cost therapy in my area. You can find it, it will come up. If you really want some help, help is out there for you, but that's the thing, you have to want it. The person that you are with has to want help. And if they don't want it, that is bad. It's bad. Because you about to be in a bad relationship. Oh, thank you, honeybee. Girl, I'm trying. I'm out here trying, girl. I got these lashes. I put these lashes on, girl. I did that. I got them on. Yeah, it's not bad. I did my little eyeshadow. It is kind of cute. So, I'm still working. And I didn't have my tear duct thing ain't tripping. So I did something right. Like my eyes are staying dry. And I've had these lashes on for a couple of hours, which is really good. I think I'm gonna keep them on a little while longer just to see how they wear. And they feel good. Like they have not irritated my eyes. And this time I did use the liquid um, magnetic liner instead of the gel. I do like the gel better. It seems like the gel does hold harder, but it seems like when I use the gel, my eyes seem a little irritated the day after. Could be just me. Who knows? But I think that's what, a lot of these companies are making the magnetic lashes now. That's the thing, child. Everybody is getting into the magnetic lashes. Thank you, Moth Mama. And y'all gonna be seeing something soon. You know I want to tell it, but I ain't gonna tell it yet. I ain't gonna tell it. I'm gonna be good. Okay? I'm finna go, y'all. What's tomorrow? Oh, because Friday ain't gonna be here. My husband is um going to be home, and we are on the hunt for the other Crocs like these. They have another pair that is the pastel colors, and I'm on the hunt for those because I done looked on the Croc website and they sold out. So they have a actual Crocs store not too far from us. So we are going there Friday because I want them Crocs, okay? Because it's like the pastel colors, it's like the lighter colors. Since I have those, I want the pastel ones also. So we're gonna be looking for those Friday. So I ain't coming Friday unless it's at night, okay? So she said you might be allergic to the gel. I've seen you with the irritation. Yeah, it could be. It wasn't real bad though. It was like it seemed like when I wore the gel, um, my eyes would tear up, and then I would completely try to make sure that I cleaned it really good. I even used the Johnson's baby shampoo to make sure that I got everything off. And then next day, my eyes would seem a little irritated. Like they wouldn't be red or anything like that, but they would seem to be slightly irritated. But then the next day, it would go away. But I was like, this is not something that I could do but I don't think I would want to do eyelashes every day anyway. I mean, I know some people do them every day, but I don't think I would. Yeah, I can't be doing this every day. I don't have the patience for one thing to be doing this every day. Thank you, the sweet guide more. So I'm gonna go. If you guys missed the first part of the video, it's probably gonna take forever to upload, but don't worry about it. Go back and look at it. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I got to find an Orisha or something. I want to go and look and try to find another one like the Orisha Oba and do that. Or we will be doing the 7 African Powers. If I can't find another interesting one with a nice story like the Orisha Oba, I will probably do 7 African Powers tomorrow. But I will let you guys know in the community wall if I found a really interesting story or if we're going to do the 7 African Powers. So I will put that in the community tab because I'm going to try to go and just do the outline and all that stuff tonight. So I love you guys and I will see you later. Don't forget to watch my other video, okay? Bye.